Welcome back, everyone. We're going to dive into Module 2, Footprinting and Reconnaissance. So the module objectives for this section will be understanding footprinting concepts, footprinting through search engines, so like passive, that's an example of passive versus active footprinting, and then using advanced Google hacking techniques, that's going to be a fun section. Footprinting through social networking sites, understanding different technologies for website footprinting, understanding different techniques for email footprinting, and then understanding different techniques of competitive intelligence. So some of these are pay-for services in that section. Understanding different techniques for who is footprinting, DNS footprinting, network footprinting, and social engineering. Module flow, so we're going to go through footprinting concepts, the methodologies, the tools, the countermeasures, and then the penetration testing components. What is footprinting? Footprinting is the process of collecting as much information as possible about a target network for identifying various ways to intrude into an organization's network system. Footprinting is the first step of any attack on an information system. Attackers gather publicly available sensitive information, or may not even be sensitive information, which then they use to perform social engineering, system and network attacks, etc., etc. That leads to a huge financial loss, and maybe possibly business reputation. Brand damage is huge nowadays. That's where the hacktivist and political hacking come into play. So you want to know the security posture, you want to reduce the security, the focus area, you want to identify vulnerabilities, and you want to draw a network map. So that's kind of the idea. So footprinting allows attackers to know the external security posture of the target organization. It reduces the attacker's focus area to a specific range of IP addresses, networks, domain names, remote access, etc. So you may have a huge organization, but I only want to attack finance, and I know that they're in Santa Clara. So I'm going to focus on that IP range only the Santa Clara network egress points. That's an example of reducing the focus area. So identify the vulnerabilities. It allows an attacker to identify vulnerabilities in the target system in order to select appropriate exploits. Nothing special about that, right? And then it allows attackers to draw or map an outline to an organization's network infrastructure to know about the actual environment they are going to break. So you can have literally a visual diagram. Objectives of footprinting are to collect network information. And under that, we have domain names, internal domain names. So if you can perform zone transfers, you may get information about the internal network address space. Network blocks, IP addresses of the reachable systems, rogue websites, private websites, things like that, TCP and UDP services that are running, access control mechanisms and ACLs, network protocols, VPN points, IDSs that are running or that might be in use, analog digital telephone numbers, authentication mechanisms and system enumeration, that kind of thing. Then the second part is collect system information, and the third part is collect an organization's information. So with respect to the system information, we have users and group names, system banners, routing tables, SNMP information, system architecture, remote system types. Are they Windows? Are they OS X? Are they Linux? System names and passwords, and then under collect an organization's information, we have employee details, organization's website, company directory, location details, address and phone numbers, comments and HTML source code, security policies implemented, web server links relevant to the organization, and background of the organization. Did they ever have a dial-up interface? Is there anything that might still be left over that I can attack? That kind of thing. News articles and press releases. And there's also something they're leaving out here, like the history of their website. So like the network information and the system information, you can always go back into the Wayback Machine, which we'll probably discuss in more detail later. But the Wayback Machine at archive.org can show you what their old websites looked like. So you can see what they fixed and what they haven't fixed, maybe the trending from there to see how good their security is.